roll.
Okay, we had, had a little recording issues, but the only thing we've done so far is call to order, pledge allegiance and roll call. All members are attending. We're moving on. We approved today's agenda and we're moving on to the tourism director's report.
Good morning, Lodgers Tax Board. Don't have a lot on the tourism director's report. I'll save it stuff for the agenda. We finished up our summer events this last weekend with the Porsche Club here. They ended up with 31 cars, 62 people. So it did book some hotel rooms in the lodge. They spent some money at Elevated Pour, at Elements, and other places around town. This event was different than the balloons event. The balloons event was strictly the Maverick Club out of New Mexico. The Mavericks have about 800 members in their club. This was joined, the Roadrunner Club out of New Mexico. This was joined by the Maverick Club out of North Texas that has 4,000 members. So it's a much bigger group. They were very impressed. The president of the Texas Club came up, met with her, talked about future events, looking on ways to split the Porsche groups up so we can do different things at different times. The first person I need to meet with is Jeff Gilmore, because the biggest attraction we have for these people is the airport. The photos we did at Balloons over Angel Fire last year on the Sunday morning were very well received. They'd like to do more of those kind of things. Jeff has expressed interest in hosting even autocross events at the airport. So if we can build a reputation, use when we're closing the skies for the balloons, if I can use that tarmac for something on the ground and create some more excitement out there, it's a win. It's been suggested by my boss that next year for Oktoberfest, I also worked with, because next year for Oktoberfest, Mavericks Club and some of the other Porsche clubs out of Texas to come to Oktoberfest. Brett has suggested I go after the BMW Club and the Mercedes Club and really get some German cars up here for Oktoberfest. So we're gonna try it.
A bunch of them out there.
We're gonna try it. I'll even go for Volkswagens. So we see what we can do, grow these events. These auto enthusiast groups they know we have great roads up here. They know our law enforcement at the state trooper level is understaffed. Doesn't bother them at all. And if Angel Fire can be the hub where they stay and they come and go from here and do drives, whether they're coming up as clubs or individuals or small groups, if we can build that type of cultural experience and get those people coming up here on a regular basis, it would be great. The show in the tent ended up with 16 cars under the tent. There were 5 outside the tent. The 5 from outside the tent were not part of the Porsche clubs. They were people that heard about the event going on, just came up to see it. One guy's my new neighbor, bought a lot 2 houses down from me. I met him there. So it seems to be we're establishing a reputation with these people. And if we can keep driving that reputation, hate to use the pun, we could get a good group of enthusiasts up here that come to Angel Fire, spring through fall.
And all these people were from Texas?
There were
Majority.
17 cars were from Texas and 28 were from Albuquerque.
So this club is bigger than just the North Texas club, right?
No, it's just Fort Worth and this way. There's another club that goes Dallas and that way. There's another one in Houston. There's 5 Porsche clubs in Texas alone. Another one.
People out of Albuquerque were part of the Texas. It wasn't just a Texas group.
No, it was 2. It was the road
Mexico.
runners from Albuquerque allowing the Texas people to come up,
Yeah,
but
okay.
they're nervous because there's a lot more of them. And their cars might be nicer. I don't know. But they were very, I've gotten numerous calls and emails thanking the village for everything they're doing. One of them's writing a letter to John Kitts for everything that the resort did. So, we had a rainy, sort of crappy weekend and it went great, which is most you can ask of that. Oktoberfest went very well, as you know, as well. We had almost 900 people on Saturday and then another almost 500 on Sunday. So not a bad crowd, good entertainment. Brandon did a good job coordinating things out there. I'll let him fill you in on the event stuff down as well. And that's it for the tourism director report. I'll save the rest for the agenda.
All right, we'll move on to old business. Item A, introduction of Rob Fidless as lodging tech board member representing the Angel Fire business segment.
Bob Tiblish. Hello, everybody. Good to be here. So I own a couple businesses in town here. Timber Ridge Electric. That one's been 20+ years. I've had that business. And then I'm a pretty recent new owner of Angel Fired Pizza. The wife and I took over that spot in town. And it's good to be on board here and kind of see what's going on with lodging tax money and we'll say in it. So
Welcome. Thank you.
Yep.
We appreciate you being here.
Oh, yeah.
So, you could give me your email and cell phone number.
Sure.
We'll move on to item B, SDR Granicus update.
Okay. We're moving through the process still. Brandon, you want to come up and fill him in on some details here?
Sure.
This week will be a test that will go out to everybody in the system. And then after that, we'll start the audit process. We'll find out who's paying what, where. Then we have to follow through on the legal channels with Airbnb, Vrbo, make sure we're getting sports fees and everything else that we're getting. But as we build the accounting and the back end gets done and all the billing and permit process and everything else gets put through the system, it will allow us to do an audit. So it's been building all that. It's been importing data. Sometimes the data that we had imported in the village side was not the data that Granicus wanted, so we've had to adjust some of that. Brandon's been the key punch operator.
So Caroline and I've kind of taken over the Granicus part, trying to get it implemented. So right now, she's working on entering all revenue data we have. So anybody who has been paying, sending it in, and even some of the good management companies who break down for each property, we're gonna get all that entered. And then we're matching, so we're gonna end up, the short-term rental permits is gonna be the main number for each unit. So everyone's gonna have that permit number. And so we're gonna be able to match that revenue and that all the information to that number to the unit. And that's how, once we enter our information, they put it in, we're gonna be able to see who doesn't have a short-term rental permit connected to a property and who isn't turning in, lodger's tax, which that is part of the audits he's talking about, because like Vrbo, Airbnb, some management companies don't give us the information on every unit. So we'll have to audit those people and be like, hey, get a receipt, let us know that information and just prove to us that it is getting turned in correctly. So those are kind of the steps that's gonna take.
And I'll let you know the portals for the owners, they can pull a report. And
Okay.
be a simple report that they would send to you and just say, hey, we just need to have the report from.
I figured it would be that
Yeah,
easy,
yeah.
but good to hear that it is. So that's good. Like you said, the testing on the system, starts this week. It'll go out to like 4 or 5 of us on the 17th, start playing with it. Then we have another meeting on the 23rd to talk about what we've found and then pushing a little more testing out. So, and during that, we're going to continue data entry. So the goal, if everything goes correctly, is probably to be up and running in the next month or so. And then getting those audit letters out, and then start contacting those that we know that aren't compliant, either don't have a permit, or we need them to prove that they're paying lodger's tax. So we'll start talking to those people, and I mean, there's people out there who aren't doing either one. So we'll find those and we'll start that communication with them.
And I'm sorry to interrupt again,
Mhm.
but I mean, I would always say lodger's tax and sports facility. 'Cause-
Yes, no, we're doing both.
Okay.
We're going after all 7.4. We're
Okay.
not separating it out in what we're looking for. Good point. Because we're going after all of it.
Okay.
Because we don't want to push it on another group to try to figure out the other portion. We're doing it all together because that's what the system's for.
Perfect.
So we're working, it's 7.4 percent is the number we're going after. From there, we'll figure out what goes where. One issue that we're having a meeting on tomorrow on it is bulk pay. It is my understanding that you asked when they were bringing the system in, that if you could pay for 150 at once. Right now, the system does not allow that. You're gonna have to enter all 150 and then go into each one and pay each one individually. I do have a meeting tomorrow to see what the other option is. And we'll just have to see how tough it would be to implement and change and what the time period would be and cost, of course. So I'll have to get more information on that tomorrow. So it is not exactly what we thought it was, but we're gonna figure out the best solution. Any other questions?
Goal on this was to have everything working perfectly prior to December. Because as you know, 60% of our lodger's tax comes in those winter months.
Yep.
So we really need this functioning 100% perfect by then.
So if a system change pushes us back 2 or 3 months, I mean, it may not happen.
But just getting the threatening letters out would be good in
Yeah.
advance. I think people would self-report
Yeah.
versus.
That has helped.
Yeah.
And we're still in the last month, we picked up another 12 short-term rental permits. Not a lot, but as people are
They keep coming in.
coming up to speed, they get it in.
And then the portal on the dashboard, you're gonna be able to put in all your units. They're all gonna be listed and you can go into each one. You're not re-entering everything every time. You're entering it the once, getting it saved in the dashboard, and then you'll go into it. It'll ask you, do you need to make any changes? No. And then you go to the next page where you're putting how much, we're gonna be asking for how many days it was rented during that month, the total revenue, and then, of course, the taxes, which will be the combination of the lodgers and the sports fee. So it'll be asking for all that and allowing you to pay through the system at that point. And then we're gonna be able to get really accurate information once we're putting everybody through that. And it'll be a lot easier.
And it's monthly.
Yes.
Monthly. You have, it has to be done before the 25th of every month. Or you're gonna start getting late fees, $100 late fees, or a certain percentage of the total, whichever's higher, you will automatically get that fee added on.
Brandon, on the enforcement side, I mean, is it just kind of word of mouth then if somebody's not following the rules? I mean, how do you guys,
Right now, there's no way to find it.
that's what, so it's
It's
just,
just word of mouth or whatever. We've just been counting on them to do the right thing. But with this, we're gonna be able to find them. We can see right now, I can see everybody.
Software goes and searches the internet. And it's not just Google listings, but they also find reviews.
If anybody wants to come by, I can pull up Granicus, show you what it's gonna look like.
So they go, the software, that was the goal of the software.
Mhm.
Go find these people that aren't in compliance.
We have,
But we have to set up accounting systems and finance systems to make it work and do the audits and really establish the billing. There's a lot more back-end work than what I was led to believe when we started, so.
yeah, hours, days. So there's 934 units that have been listed in the last year on Vrbo, Airbnb, and all the other ones. It goes and searches all those. We know there's 934 units that have been listed at some point. About 485 have short-term rentals permits. So there's a gap there.
Hmm.
So we've got to fill that gap. Is it that number exactly? No. Some of those people,
I know of 50 that have been sold.
yeah, I mean, there's gonna be things we find, but we're gonna close that gap. And make sure everybody's in compliance with their permits and paying their lodgers and paying their taxes. We'll just call it taxes for them.
And I think it would help too, you know, I know we talked about it, Greg, with, dropping these applications off at the brokerages.
Mhm.
So every time we sell a house, we give new buyers packets.
Yes,
The packet of information I passed out today, that has basically the public notice on the lodging occupancy information. It has the business license permit, it has the short-term rental permit, it has the monthly lodging report. I just wanted you guys to see what we put out to these people. And then it has the welcome, to be a good neighbor policy thing that's supposed to be posted in these units. But those are the steps that a short-term rental person would have to apply with to do what we're asking. And we give them a pretty good, it has the fire plan in there, and it's a comprehensive list of information. And everybody's so far been very positive, thankful for what we're giving them and how much Caroline and Brandon are helping them through the process. I just wanted you guys to see this. And is this the same, would it be the same packet of stuff that we want to see go to the brokers?
Yeah, and I can just take this one and really just,
yeah, 'cause that'd be great if they're getting them at closing. I
That's
mean, that
exactly,
information.
I mean,
I
'cause
wonder I don't know if the closing company can even add it to the packet that they hand out. I don't know.
it's possible.
I mean, I could go talk to them and see if we can put together a nice packet that walks them through it.
Well,
But like when we know someone's gonna buy a house, that their intentions are to put it on an SDR, you know, they want us to give them this packet rather than them go try to find.
Because most of our problem is the lack of knowledge, not knowing
Yeah.
what they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
And if we can make it as simple as possible, I mean, that'd be great.
and if we could all give them the same answer when they ask the question.
And we don't even-
And we're on that.
We don't even need paper off because, you know, we have lists of vendors and stuff that we can email them. I mean, we can email them this as well if you can get it to us in like a
I can send all,
PDF or
I have
whatever.
all that in one email, I can send it to you right now.
Perfect. We can
Yes.
just forward.
There are a few, what does the one page look like? We do want to change a couple of things on
Yeah,
one
we have
page.
But they're fine.
Because we want to have, Granicus has the ability for us to put in extra information. And it really helps, yeah. So this page is gonna change a little bit. We want to know how many days they rented for. And I need to make sure everybody's getting their, parcel numbers to us as they go, or we can match that up, because that's been a big project, matching the postal parcel numbers to every unit. It's something I've been working on. So that's a whole nother story. Any other questions?
It's like we have a lot of upside, a lot of potential here.
That, that $100 fee's pretty steep.
Yeah, we wanted in before the 25th. And once they're paying for Granicus, that's gonna automatically happen.
Well, and I think once we get Airbnb pay and then, Verbo to pay the sports facility, we're gonna have a lot more money in the sports facility fund and the lodger's tax fund, because Airbnb's going through a really big change right now. They're switching to where the owners pay all the fees.
Okay.
Whereas it used to be a fee on the renter. And so it used to be 3%, now it's 15.5% on the homeowner. So they're probably gonna be open to other things.
Thank you, Brandon.
This is a thank you from the Music Bank and Fire to the Lodgers Tax Board. Be nice little box. We'll go ahead and move on to, C, events update.
All right, well, he took most of my thunder earlier. And it's
Scott,
tourism report. Oktoberfest, I think great improvement over last year. I know the Currys had a good time Saturday.
Bad way.
Uh, Dressed up, oh my, so compared to last year was thrown together last minute. I'd just been hired, couldn't get a poker band, I was out there playing music on the stereo and tried to figure out doing the Stein holding and could, and
It's a Modelo.
yeah, I mean, and didn't have any draft beer, anything like that. So, I mean, Facebook wasn't very kind to it last year. But I just took it as a challenge. So I think it went a lot better last year. The event center, great place for it. Spread everybody out. No one felt crowded, even when Saturday, like you said, we had over 900 people there throughout the day. Saturday, it was never 900 at once. Alcohol control board. And then Sunday, 500. So last year we were at like 400 on Saturday, and then we were like at 100, 150 on Sunday. So, I mean, we beat those numbers by a ton. Everybody enjoyed, I was able to have 5 food vendors. I had four beer vendors. Everybody made money. The art vendors had a good time. They had a tough time with the wind a little bit, but most of them did okay, did pretty well. They were happy to do it and kind of saw how things would be set up next year when we have events that need vendors next year, art vendors and stuff next year. The barrel rolling went really well, which brought up a new idea of having a business sponsor an event instead of just having their banner up. They're actually out there talking to people, running an event and an activity instead of just putting up a banner. I feel like that is a lot more personal. They were very happy to do it. They had a great time. The barrel rolling went great. And then Kids Zone kept the kids busy. Everybody, band, the later Hosen Junkies, they were fun. Had a great time. They'll be back next year. We've already talked to them. We're on their schedule. And then I went to Oktoberfest in Red River on Sunday. Spent a couple hours there. Most of the time was spent talking to people. I went behind stage, met all the people who put it on, the people who run the chamber, Naoma, and Michael. I met the sound crew that they've been using, which he's a Red River local. Went around and talked to all the vendors I thought would be relevant for us. The guy with the pool where the people get in the balls and roll around, super cool. I mean, we could throw them out there. It'd be fun. And they don't charge to come. They just charge when people want to get out there, and they stay busy the whole time and talk to some food vendors and stuff. So really, got some good work done Sunday out there talking to people. So that was good. The car show went well. He kind of told you all about that. Coming up in November, we're going to have our Fire and Light celebration at the Visitor Center. So we're putting together our lighting ceremony where we turn on the tree and the lights and everything. Along with, we're going to have a bonfire and kind of a little party out there. Won't be alcohol or anything. It'll be more of a family thing bring out the kids. We're going to have Santa, hot cocoa, s'mores. I'll have to see about food vendors, who I can get out there or who's going to be open. So yeah, should be a great time. And then we've got stuff on the calendar already for 26. So I'm gonna start working with our booking agent, start getting Angel Fire music series going. And I'll start working on farmers markets, and then we're gonna try to do a couple more festivals. So Blues Fest along with a couple of more big ones. So should be a fun another year. Just keep adding stuff. Any questions?
Would it be, an idea just to do a survey, send out a survey to the people to see what kind of events or things they would like?
We have a survey out there, and
They're using it at the events
Oh, okay.
about, did the event influence them to come to town? What other type of events they would like? to
Yeah,
do, those kind of things. So, yeah.
Or things that can piggyback on events that are currently, like you say, the balls
Yeah.
and barrel racing.
and I think once, we're gonna start doing the Village Voice again, it's gonna be digital, it'll be an email, and we'll put that on there where people can scan that and maybe get some more replies to it. So yeah, definitely, that's already something that's created and out there.
I thought the band being under the tent went really well, and as far as, whatever, or whether it's Friday night or
Mhm.
the cool summer nights, I think we should have them all there.
Yeah, I think that went really well. So we'll have to figure out, what we can do stage wise and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that
Whose
works well.
stage was that they used?
It was Oliver's from the, Oliver Bradley's from the skate festival. We borrowed it, which we could work something out with him, possibly.
Quonset hut,
Yeah, there you go.
there,
But no, it was great. Didn't have to worry about weather. When it got a little chilly on Saturday, everybody got into there, turned the heaters on. It went really well.
Yeah, people still spread out on the lawn, on the turf when they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it went really well. Anybody else have anything? Questions?
Well, thank you.
All right. All this meeting closed.
That was strange.